Hi everyone. The purpose of this video is to go more in detail about our 360 cycle so you can gain more understanding of what kind of services we can provide in each of the phases of the cycle. A 360 cycle consisting of 6 phases. 6 phases that we believe are needed to implement any successful business model, strategy, standard, and innovation. A cycle that is iterative, that can be applied always in any phase and in any moment of your organization. This 360 cycle is a unique methodology developed by 360 Knowledge Academy and Consulting. A unique methodology with 6 phases that can be applied to any organization in any activity area, from the first sector of activity up to non-profit organizations and also public administrations. Why? Because it's a generic approach that can be customized for the specific needs, goals, and purpose of a given organization. And we strongly believe that we can support your sustainability and your competitiveness in the markets thanks to this cycle and its application. So stay tuned and let's start. The first phase is the customized assessment phase. Why? Because to apply anything, you have to understand at the very beginning what is the initial situation. An initial situation that depends on the present moment, but also on the history of the organization and the persons that are in the organization. Therefore, this customized assessment provides, thanks to the assessment, an analysis of the status of the organization and its environment. But thanks to the customization, we acquire the knowledge to know what are your needs, what are the specific areas and topics that should be analyzed in order to provide a full perspective of the status of your organization. Why this analysis is needed? Because before trying to reach any kind of goal and purpose, you have to understand what are your capabilities, what are the conditions you have at the present moment. Knowing that, you can derive how many steps and what kind of steps you should tackle in order to reach to that horizon, in order to be realistic and to know what are the pain points and what are the areas of improvement. Therefore, the assessment is needed to know the status and the history and the capabilities you have and the environment around you, and also the customization is needed to customize all the tools, all the knowledge, all the best practices, all the innovations that are more suitable for you. And to do that, we have to customize the assessment, and that is a service we provide. We don't apply a generic framework only, but we have a generic methodology applicable in a customized way for you, especially for your needs, for your goals, and for your purpose. And this first phase can have different scopes. That's why we offer different audit and assessment programs, from a base program to a performance program up to a premium program. All these 3 programs differ from the others depending on the scope, being a more basic scope in the base audit in comparison to the performance and in comparison to the premium audit. The premium audit offers a 360 audit program. With these audit programs, we provide an assessment that is based on multiple perspectives, looking at the things from different angles. So you have a more 360 vision of what is the status of your organization, not only from a technical point of view, not only from an organizational point of view, but from the operative, from the strategic, from different angles, so you can have a good picture of what is going on, what is the status of your organization. Moreover, in this first phase, we could apply it for different time horizons. With a short-term perspective, we can support in the definition of quick wins from which you can gain more benefit with less effort in a short-term period. Then you could also apply assessments for a more middle and tactical horizon. This could be, for instance, when you are implementing a strategy, but the strategy is not working as planned, and there are some areas that you have to adapt. In this case, we help you with this middle term perspective in order to adapt your projects or define new projects that are going to complement your current strategy. So, in this middle term, we help you to improve your current projects and activities, but also defining new ones that are going to help you in gaining more probability of success in implementing your strategy. And third, if you would like to define a new strategy, a completely new formulation with a completely new direction in the horizon for or your company, like to diversify your portfolio, to develop new markets, to introduce new products and innovations in the markets, then this phase is also needed, but with a more long-term perspective. And based on this first phase, on this assessment phase customized for you, then we are coming to the second phase. A second phase that is called simulation and analytics. Why? Because in any purpose and any goal you might have, you have to think what are the options, alternatives, what kind of different decisions, measures, projects. You should know what kind of them you should consider and which of them you should apply depending on the internal and external scenarios. And that's exactly what we are doing in our second phase of the 360 cycle. We apply from more simple techniques and methods up to more advanced ones of different simulation tools and applications, methods and analytics in order to analyze these different decisions, alternatives, projects and measures that could bring you to your goal in different scenarios. For that, we have to identify and we support you in identifying what are the internal scenarios that could arrive and what are the external scenarios that may happen. In this sense, we develop guidance maps for you. Examples of the measures that we can analyze in this second phase could be investment programs, new distribution channels and networks, new supply chains, new production capacities, and how this can impact your organization. Then, based on this phase 2 and on the previous phase 1, we are in the condition in our phase 3 to formulate a strategy. And that's the third phase of the 360 cycle. Formulate a clear strategy. A strategy that is not a static one, but a dynamic one. In this third phase, we develop dynamic strategies that support you in your goals and purpose. Why? Because it's a dynamic strategy that depends on the different internal and external scenarios that may occur. Then, depending on these internal and external scenarios, you are more capable to derive what kind of measures and projects are more suitable for you to increase the probabilities of success of your strategy in the search for your purpose. That's why we provide in this phase guidance maps of decisions and measures, guidance maps that provide you a good overview of all your options and alternatives in the different time horizons from the strategic horizon to the operative one in order to support you in decision making in advance of the future potential scenarios. Thanks to this approach, you can aim at your purpose with different dynamic routes of your strategy. A strategy that provides answers depending on the different situations that you may face. This dynamic strategy has the advantage to provide you with measures, decisions, projects that you can implement in situations of risk, of urgency, in situations in those you don't have to think in a very short period of time quickly. This dynamic strategy supports you because it provides already what kind of options you have in different kind of scenarios. And by doing so, you are not coming to a point, for instance, an emergency scenario, a high risk scenario that happens in a moment, and you have to decide in that moment without any analysis, without any rational measure or project. But with this dynamic strategy, in any kind of a scenario you may have, you have already as indication of what could be the best measures to apply in this scenario or in similar scenarios based on a rational and logic analysis that has been prepared in advance in this dynamic strategy. So this dynamic strategy avoids that you are gonna be influenced in these crisis periods by your emotions, by pressures, by other influences. But this dynamic strategy is gonna provide you the power of knowing that in an advanced period you already performed an analysis and develop a strategy that already has foreseen this scenario, and you know this or the other measure are the best ones in this specific moment for the organization and the society. So you avoid bias partial decision making, and you consider an holistic approach in any kind of a scenario to reach your goals. Then, when we have already a strategy, a dynamic strategy that can modify its routes, then is the moment to apply and implement this strategy. And for doing that, we have our fourth phase, the project management phase. Is the phase in which we transform the dynamic strategy in specific projects, in specific activities and tasks. So with this project portfolio, you should define the time horizon of them and to define the resources you have to allocate to each of them. And by doing so, we apply a dynamic perspective also for project management with a methodology in which we consider the different tasks, agents, projects, and events that may occur. And by doing that, we have a comprehensive approach supporting you that the strategy is coming to its execution in reality. Moreover, we also know that to implement any business model, any strategy, any standard, and any innovation, you need to consider what are the organizational capabilities. And in this regard, organizational capabilities of the organization, you have to consider the organization as a complex system consisting of groups of persons with a culture, with a technological perspective, and also with a personal perspective. That's why in our fifth phase on our 360 cycle, we offer organizational courses that supports you in developing the capabilities you need in order to achieve your purpose and reach your goals. And for that purpose, we have a portfolio of educational and training programs. In the organizational courses, we have three different types of programs. The first one is a functional and topic-based courses. These courses are, are for instance, supply chain management 360, logistics 360, quality 360. Why? Because in any organization you need expertise in different topics and functional areas, but also you need these areas to have a 360 perspective and knowledge of how they impact the organizational system and the environment, and also how this environment and organizational system impacts them. And that's why they need this holistic perspective. Nevertheless, they are experts in those fields of the courses. Then, our second pillar of our educational and training programs is the systemic 360 courses. These are courses that we see the need in the markets for them. Why? Because today we have been focused for many decades on a specialization, but how to link all these functional and topic-based specializations is a matter that has in many occasions only be given to managers. But we believe that there are other areas that needs this kind of cross, that needs this systemic holistic 360 mindset, and that's why these programs provide this perspective. Within these programs, we have 360 small medium enterprises, 360 sector program for any sector, 360 entrepreneurs, our 360 leader course, our 360 engineer course, 360 consultant. With these systemic 360 courses, we offer an approach for a new organizational model that links more and thinks more in a systemic way, understanding and having empathy of other functions and knowing what other functions do and how they impact us and how we impact them. In this 360 view, we can increase the sustainability of many organizations because many of them are lacking this systemic perspective. Then, to support these two pillars, functional and topic-based courses and systemic 360 courses, we have our third organizational courses that are more base courses, that are fundamental courses that someone may need in order to complement some of the other two pillars. In these base courses, we offer hard skills courses and soft skills courses. In addition, we believe that the cycle does not end with the organizational courses. Why? Because it is needed to provide a more personalized and customized courses for specific persons in any organization when applying a new organizational model, a new organizational culture, a new paradigm change, and when introducing new innovations and standards. And that's why the final sixth phase is a phase in which we offer personalized learning and coaching courses. We offer personalized courses from the different levels of the organizations, from more strategic to more operative levels. Why? Because in any of these levels, you can find persons that are key for a given change, for a given strategy, and for a given business model. For these persons, we offer customized programs specifically designed for them so that they gain in their personal development but also support the organization in their purpose. Moreover, these personalized courses are not only designed for organizations and the persons within them, but also to individual persons, students, and also professionals that want to develop their competencies and abilities in order to gain more capabilities in the market labor, and also for individual persons that want to initiate a new organization and need specific competencies and abilities. Also, we offer different personalized courses for different persons that join together and cooperate to generate a new organization. In this creation, they may need to have specific educational programs for each of them so they can cooperate more efficiently. Therefore, with these personalized programs, we close the loop and the cycle, and we believe that this is the end because the persons, if they are well educated and prepared, and gain these abilities, skills, and competencies, they can make it happen in any organization, in any sector. Furthermore, this cycle is iterative. Why? Because once you have make your analysis, your simulation of different scenarios, you have derived a strategy, you have implemented with different projects and activities, you have different organizational courses and personalized courses, then when you have applied all this cycle, there is gonna come a time in which you have to reformulate your strategy, diversify your portfolio, or generate new projects, or plan new investments. And for that, you have to initiate other time the cycle. Of course, if you have already gone through the cycle and you know perfectly how to do it, it's a good step forward. But you normally need this cycle in any case. Finally, this cycle is based in a developed methodology by 360 Knowledge Academy and Consulting. Why? Because on the basis of each of these phases and on the services we provide, we rely on our ethical principles and values, and also on the best practices, standards, methods, and systems, and we use a scientific based approach. And that's why we perform research and development and technological and scientific research. That's why we research, develop continuously, we apply scientific and technological solutions, and we are continuously developing ourselves and our tools, methods, methodologies, systems, technologies that we apply in all these different phases of the 360 cycle. Then, if you want to know more about us and if you think we can support you in your organizational or personal purpose, you can contact us in the email you can find in the description of this video. And I also invite you to engage and subscribe to the channel, and by doing that, get to know more about us and our services. So, many greetings from 360 Knowledge Academy and Consulting, and keep going.